Good morning and welcome to the budget headquarters of India's #1 business channel. In less than 5 hours, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, she would rise on the floor of the Parliament and arguably present the most important budget of this government. Given the fragile nature of the economy, everyone would be watching out for that magic wand or the secret sauce which she would present to fix the issues. The issues are well known. GDP has plummeted. Growth has plateaued. Consumption cycle is slowing down and investment cycle is yet to pick up. So what are the options? And before we talk about options, let's look at the reality. The backdrop is difficult and critical choices have to be made. Budget is all about making a decision. Do you spend or do you remain conservative? But what the finance minister will have to tackle is a simple number, which is GDP, gross domestic product, an indication of the growth of the economy. And this is where we stand. I want you to focus on two numbers. 7.2 has become 5%. 5% is where Indian economy is likely to grow for FY20 according to conservative estimates. So the backdrop, like I said, is very noisy. What about other indicators? Other indicators which indicate the aggregate health of the economy. Private consumption, health has broken down from 8% to 5%. Government consumption, again an important indicator of where government is spending and how the multiplier in the economy is getting created. And then the most important barometer of GFCF, that also has come down. So whichever way I cut and dissect, there is a challenge. Is this a structural challenge or is this a cyclical challenge? Let's move on and also talk about perhaps the biggest indication for any economy is taxes. The choice you will have to make on taxes. There you go. Growth over discipline. Do you spend more and revive the economy, or you remain conservative and stick to your fiscal deficit target? Fiscal math should not be compromised, but if you don't compromise that, what happens to the caffeine shot the economy needs, which is growth? Do you reduce taxes and make everyone happy? Budget is all about taxes and taxes and taxes, and nobody wants to pay taxes. Reduce taxes or increase your expenditure, which really could have a multiplier effect. Again, this is a critical choice she will have to make and she will have to decide. Capital expenditure versus revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure largely in the infra space to build ports, roads and bridges. Revenue expenditure, well, broadly to give more freebies via social welfare schemes. That's a choice they will have to take. Please the political economy or use the good old economic theory of creating the multiplier effect. And then urban versus rural stress. This point needs no introduction. One side, there is cry that onion prices are going high. On the urban side, there's a cry that the job creation is clearly not happening. Now the markets today are trading. And what has been the market experience in the last two budgets? Well, at least on the taxation front, they've been on the wrong side. 2018, LTCG was introduced. Yes, LTCG was introduced in 2018. And then earlier this financial year or middle of last calendar year, markets got taste of a surcharge on FPI. So markets really on the taxation front have not been on the right side. But today, will something different happen? If tax hikes, they dominated the budget headline for the last budget, will it be tax cuts? And that's where we stand in last 1 month. Well, Nifty is flat, but expectations are running extremely high, at least for the mid and the small cap index. But what exactly are markets pricing in? Where do we stand? It's not about the event, it's also about the positioning of the market. And